Like and subscribe. On the way in the door, my people. Today, when I turned on my TV today, which is normally on YouTube, the first thing that I see is Shannon Sharpe, the #1 fanboy, the the prototype for Lefanboys and Lefangirls all over the world, versus Stephen A. Smith, who, might I add, is not a good representative for the Jordan debate. But I click on the thumbnail and I'll start by saying this. I think the chemistry between those two is good. You know, it was entertaining. And I think I like this combination more than Shannon and Skip. That's about all I got to say on that. Stephen A. Smith is a poor representative of a Jordan fan. And what I mean by that is the fact that he has LeBron #2 lets me know that either one or two things. He doesn't appreciate the magnitude of what Jordan has done, or two, which is more likely, he is very much a prisoner of the moment and the Lemedia narratives pushing LeBron to be #2. But anyway, let's talk about some of the stuff that was said during this so-called debate. Which first, you know, Stephen A. starts off talking about the fact that people get insulted that he has LeBron at #2. And Shannon Sharpe says that is insulting, thus showing that he is a fanboy through and through. So we've discussed this plenty of times. I have my videos about why LeBron isn't top 5 in my opinion. Now, some people don't have him top 10. And I can understand the argument for that as well. But for me, he's not top 5. I have him just outside of my top 5. I won't go into the reasons on this video. But some of the other stuff, we're going to talk about it. Of course, one of Stephen A.'s things that I've heard him say many times is the fact that LeBron is universally respected and Michael Jordan was universally feared. And there is some truth to that statement, but I would argue that LeBron James is not really universally respected as well. And here's the thing. There's a certain thing about human nature that you can't escape. And what I mean by that is, as humans, we tend to respond to certain things that's just, like I said, it's human nature. It's innate in us to respond to these things, to recognize certain things. One of them is when we recognize someone is truly working hard. It's hard to deny that person the credit. It's hard to not respect them. And vice versa, when we see someone who's not working hard, especially when we see someone who's not working hard but managing to attain some amount of success, there's some lack of respect that happens for that. You know, you can compare it to someone who gains their riches through hard work and someone who inherited it. You know, I'm sure we've all seen the scenarios where it's like you don't have respect for the rich kid who was just everything was always handed to him. which is kind of what LeBron represents in the NBA. Now, I'm not saying he didn't work hard to get to the NBA, but what I'm saying is once he got in the NBA, he quickly fell into rich kid status. Pouting when he doesn't get what he wants, when things are not going his way, and manipulating the system to gain success versus just overcoming. And so, yeah, I would argue that LeBron is not universally respected for that reason. Matter of fact, I would even argue that a lot of people who say they respect LeBron is more media influenced than actually respect him at their core. A lot of respect for LeBron is media generated. But I feel like some of the stuff that these players say to LeBron on the court, people would never say that to Jordan. Matter of fact, here you go, fanboys. Here's something you don't hear about LeBron that you heard about overwhelmingly about Michael Jordan, and you even heard it about Kobe Bryant. When have you heard other players talk about, oh man, it's not a good idea to trash talk LeBron. That's not a good idea. When have you heard that? Because I haven't heard that one. I've heard a multitude of players who have trash talked LeBron in the most disrespectful of ways. But I have never heard players in interviews and on podcasts. I have never heard a multitude of players saying, like, telling LeBron James revenge stories. You know, saying, hey, it's not a good idea to trash talk this guy because, well, you're going to have to pay for that. Never heard it. Now, LeBron might get you kicked out of the arena or something. But as far as dominating you in the game because of it, that thing doesn't exist. Again, he is not respected like that. People respect hard work. People respect competitiveness. So I'm going to sidetrack a little bit. You know, for those of you who've watched my 90s series videos, but particularly the first one, where I talk about Jordan culture in the 90s and how everyone was playing basketball and how you had, you know, all the courts were full. But not only that, you had multiple 3-on-3 tournaments and different kind of tournaments that would take place, you know, several times a year. And I used to play in some of these tournaments. And, you know, some of these games would get rough and, you know, would almost come to blows during the game. You know, maybe even came to blows a couple of times. But after the game, not always, but a lot of times, after the game, we would still shake hands with the team, win or lose. And that is because we respected how hard the other team played. And they respected how hard we played. See, when you're giving your all in something, when you're truly giving your all, people cannot help but respect that. That is a human nature thing. Human nature throughout time. We love to see people triumph, and we love to see people who obtain things by working hard. LeBron James, he has a weak case for that. Another thing they talked about. Basically, Stephen A. said, if you could take LeBron's career from 2012 on, he would have more of a case for the GOAT. Because before 2012, you know, he obviously had the Dallas series on his resume, and he also had the being accused of quitting against the Boston Celtics. Another thing that I think is, obviously both of those things diminish LeBron's legacy, but after 2012, he had the game that, for me, personally, ruined the way I looked at LeBron James forever. And that is the game, I've talked about it many times. Like I said, I am going to do a video on it. The game, the J.R. Smith game. The J.R. Smith game. The game where J.R. made the mistake and LeBron was pouting. They're going into overtime, but LeBron is pouting and not corralling the troops. He is not being a leader. He is being a pouty kid, for lack of a better term. That game, to me, is what forever eliminates him from the GOAT conversation. That game, for me, is what puts him out of the top 5 immediately. So, yeah, like I said, Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A., it looks like good chemistry right off the bat. I think they're going to be entertaining. But like I said, I classify Shannon Sharpe as the number 1 Lefanboy, with Nick Wright coming in a close second. And Stephen A., like I said, to me, he's a poor representative of a Jordan fan. The fact that you got LeBron at 2, I mean, okay, if that's the way you feel. But like I said, I believe Stephen A. is more a prisoner of the moment and a prisoner of the Lemedia constantly saying LeBron has to be at least number 2. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you guys catch that segment yet with Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe? Let me know what y'all think about this lineup in general with the two of them. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. You all have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time. All right.